morning, everybody. Beverdina here, and welcome back to, let's say, this little series.
3, 2, 1, go! Three, two, one, go!
Are you new to Shopee? Get a free gift from us to you. Simply register a new Shopee account and claim your free gift. Download Shopee today.
Okay, I've watched the end more times than any one person probably should. Between scripting these videos, editing these videos, and general rewatches, I must have seen the end about 50 times. And I like to think I know the episode inside and out. But there's always been one question sat at the back of my mind, and that is, where did Tord get the robot? This is a bit of a weird question, always meant to be explained away with cartoon logic. But even after addressing it in a previous video, I've never really settled on an actual conclusion. We know who Tord is, we know who the Red Leader is, we know who Paul and Patrick are, but how exactly this robot came into existence remains a mystery. And after thinking about it for some time, I realised it's because I don't actually know what's going on in Tord's head, and I don't know what he was doing during his extended hiatus. And I realised that to understand where he got this thing, we need to reach a conclusion about everything else. I don't expect to necessarily reach that conclusion by the end of this video, but I hope to at least understand what's going on a little bit better. If you're unsure as to where my confusion lies, let's go through the events chronologically as presented within the show. First, we find out that Tord is leaving in his car. He tells the gang that he is leaving to, and I quote, make it in the big city. He comes back after some amount of time, letting Ed know before doing so. He spends some time in Durham Lane before he gets into his mech suit, blows up the house, tries to fly away, is shot down, and then gets retrieved by Paul and Patrick at the top of the hill. So we've got a pretty good idea of the chronology from Ed, Matt and Tom's perspective. The episodes are viewed through their eyes. But what about Tord's perspective? It's never really been clear when Tord first met Paul and Patrick, when he built this robot, or when he turned evil. Some might tell you that this isn't actually the Tord that we know and love and he's in fact a clone, but we'll be ignoring that theory today. The crux of this question, I think, lies in when exactly Tord met Paul and Patrick and when he founded the Red Army. Working that out will give us some idea of when he became evil and when this robot was built. And with that, I see three main possibilities. 1. He knew them before he built the robot and left the house to take over the world. 2. He'd already built the robot and met them when he was away. Or 3, and I'll admit this is a little bit out there, he's never met them before this moment on the hill. Let's start with this first answer because it seems to be the one that's most commonly accepted, the one that I believe for the longest amount of time, and probably has the most evidence supporting it. Though Paul was a character before the Legacy era, he only really made his first appearance in Moving Targets, as a soldier for the generic bad guy army. This is significant because it was also the last episode that Tord was voiced by his original actor. He left at the beginning of the very next episode without even voicing it. So it is entirely possible that, after this experience, Tord decided that he wanted to be involved in whatever these guys were up to. Tord presumably met Paul and Patrick, founded the Red Army, built the robot, and then left to do something, and then came back for the robot. The real problem here is explaining why Tord left in the first place without taking the robot with him. If he already had his army together and already had plans for world domination, then why not take the robot with him? To me, the far more likely timeline is option 2. He built the robot before he left and met Paul and Patrick on his travels. In this timeline, Tord's robot was never designed to be a super weapon, but just one of Tord's weird passion projects. It is entirely possible that by the time he drove away, Tord actually had no evil intentions whatsoever. Maybe after his experience in the army, Tord realized that he didn't want to cause pain unto others. He looked at the weapons he's constructed and realized what a monster he was becoming, and decided to make a new life for himself in the big city. Maybe he wanted to go to New York to be a new man, but upon meeting a couple of revolutionaries, he decided that he was not throwing away his